Next time I sacrifice you, I'm supposed to win. Okay? Oh. Sorry, I was just giving my queen a pep talk. You know? Welcome to chess, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys stopping by very much. So, as you guys know, we are in the knockout portion of the Crypto Cup. And it is the first round of that. So, you know, we're just kind of alternating colors. So we have, you know, Wesley So versus Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. So for all of my people from the Philippines, magandang umaga, mabuhay kamusta na, you know, mabuting pagbati. Appreciate it very much for you guys coming and taking a look. Maraming salamat po, aking makaibigan. And for all of my people that are coming from France, you know, bonjour to you. Comment ça va? Comment allez-vous? Ça me fait plaisir de te voir, mes amis. Appreciate you guys very much. Merci beaucoup. And so, yeah, if you guys are ready to go, let's take a look, see what we got for the game. All right, so we got D4, E6, got knight to F3, knight coming to F6, we got C4. So as you guys are familiar with me talking about transpositions the other day, you can definitely go D5 here and a G3, not G4, G3, get a Catalan situation going, have Queen's Gambit declined, have Slav type stuff, semi-Slav, all kinds of good stuff. But we do see a C5, and this is the Benoni. So basically what I'm going to say about the Benoni is you either win or lose. You literally never draw a Benoni. It's kind of like a gambit. It's pretty much like you either win or lose. These aren't drawing lines. So you guys, I mean, you guys can already tell by this that somebody's going to win this game. So we got D5, pawn takes D5, pawn takes D5. We got D6, knight coming to C3, G6, E4, bishop to G7, H3. Now, something I will say about the Benoni is it is much better for white. It is pretty dubious for black to play. You know, it is a lot better winning wise for white. It just gives white pretty much way too much when you think about it. You know, white has like a bunch of space in the center. The knights are good. And it just provides really, really easy development and so many tactical possibilities for white. So be prepared to fight if you are coming from the black side of this. So we got castles by black. We got bishop to D3. We have A6, A4. And A4 is a very positional move because, you know, it's kind of setting up a little bit of an in-game type of situation as well. It has some in-game implications because you can be pushing the pawn up here to A5 and trying to freeze these pawns. But it just tries to restrict black as much as possible. One of the few things that black can do in a Benoni is try to push the queen side. Especially trying to undermine these two pieces to try to, you know, create some situations in the center of the board because the black king does usually get castled much faster than a white king does. So you have to be very careful with your moves. So we got knight b to d7. We have castles by white. We have queen to c7. We got rook coming to e1, c4, bishop to f1. We have rook to e8. Bishop comes to f4. Cool. So what you see white doing is they are attacking the major weakness in black's position, and it's this pawn on d6. You know, that's one of black's major issues, so they pretty much have to babysit this pawn for a lot of the game, unless it just pretty much drops. And then you don't have to worry about it because it's gone. But something that the computer really liked, it's not that it's that much better, but bishop to e3. It allows this series of moves. We have knight taking e4, knight taking e4, rook taking e4, knight down to d2, rook to e7, knight takes c4. And as you guys can see, this is all because you are wanting to try to attack this d6 pawn as gigantically as possible. So at some point, you're going to be moving the queen to protect this pawn. You're going to be trying to move this bishop over here so it can be on this diagonal. And you just have way too many tactics going on. So that is a really nice that's a really nice situation. But you can just immediately go bishop to f4, and you are still putting a lot of pressure on black's weakness. So we see rook to b8. And a lot of the times when you guys play a Benoni from the white side, you guys will see the rook come here, the bishop will come here, because like all of the forces are focused on trying to push b5. You know, so you got a6 and b5 will come and stuff like that. So, you know, you can definitely push a5 here, like I said before, you know, kind of freezing the pawns, making it undesirable, because if you do see a b5 situation, you're going to be taken here, and then you guys can see that you've successfully broken up black's structure. So that's definitely something that you can do. But after rook coming to b8, we do see bishop down to h2. And the interesting thing about the position right here is this actually allows black to kind of liberate themselves a little bit and start to, like, you know, kind of get some space and breathe a little bit. That move is actually knight to e5. And as you guys can see, this kind of plants the knight right there in the middle of the board. This bishop is a little bit more free. It doesn't have a lot of squares, but it does have some little bit of scope, some possibilities there. But backing up, after bishop to h2, we do see b5, which kind of just throws the opportunity that you have to do that and kind of get some breathing room out of, you know, just kind of throws it away. b5 is the novelty of the game, and it is actually for good reason. So when we're coming up on this situation here, we got pawn taking b5, pawn taking b5, and then we've reached a point in the game where I want you guys to go ahead and stop the video and see if you can guess a really, really powerful, aggressive move for white in this position. Go ahead and do so. Cool. All right, so I think this move is really, really actually easy to find because it just feels just so natural. Like, it's one of the few moves that are in the position, but it just makes so much sense. And the move is actually knight to d4. Knight to d4 does multiple things. Knight to d4 centralizes your knight. It also puts it in a really, really nice, like, kind of like nook. And usually when you have a situation where you have e4 and d5, you have the ability to push knight to d4. And in this particular case, it places a double attack on this underdefended pawn. And then you have a problem because you can't allow a knight to get on that square because this queen is here and it's just not looking great. And black's problem right now is the fact that they do not have their development completed. And when you compare that to white, white is doing much better and they're much farther along. So this position is just overwhelming for white. So it kind of forces black's hand to play queen to c5. After knight comes to c6, you literally have to give up the rook because there is no way to defend it. So after bishop to b7, you have lost the exchange with knight takes b8, rook takes b8, and then you are able to continuously attack this point with rook to a5. So not only do you have d6 as a problem point, you have b5 as a problem point, and Wesley So is just saying, hey man, I'm gonna just pick on you all day if you give me the chance. And he does have the chance. So we see bishop back to c8, queen coming to a1, just completely taking over the a file altogether. We have knight back to e8, rook to a8, because white really, really, really wants to trade rooks. You are already up an entire exchange. If you can get black to trade rooks with you, you just have overwhelming, material advantage. So we have bishop to d4, trying to give a counter attack on the king, but the bishop just comes and saves the day with g3. We got knight e to f6, rook takes b8, knight takes b8. We have knight down to e2. The bishop comes to e5. We trade bishops. Thank you for trading with me. Like I said, if you're black, you do not want to trade. If you're white, yes, please trade. So we got pawn takes e5. We have b4, opening up this queen on this isolated non-defended pawn on e5. So the queen takes b4. We throw in the intermezzo rook to b1 because we're hoping the queen moves away really far so we can take this pawn. We got queen to c5, queen takes e5, knight b to d7, and then we see queen down to d4. And it is actually in this position that Maxime Vachier-Lagrave does resign the game. And basically, just to show you like an idea, one possible variation that would come, which is pretty much this is the best play for black. We would see queen taking d4, knight taking d4, knight taking e4, and then the knight taking on b5. And as you can see, you have a real problem with this pawn here. If you do try to push it, you just simply move rook over, and there is just no possible way to defend this pawn. So not only are you down in exchange, you are also down a pawn. And it's just something that you just cannot, bounce back from. So that is that. Okay, so that was a really, really interesting game. And it was nice to see Wesley So win. It was nice to see somebody win a game. It's always nice to see somebody, a decisive result. So that's what we had for that. But for all of my people in the Philippines, trying to say the rest of these greetings to you, I got Maayong Buntag. I have Marhe na agahan. Mayad na agahan. Yes. Nine bag na bigat. Masantos Yakabusan. Marhe na aga. See, I'm not getting these in the right order, man. It's kind of irritating. But anyway, Marhe na aga. We have Buenos Dias. Maanyong aga. I have, let me see, I think I got all of them correctly. Yes. And then I got Mapia na uma. I'm going to get that one. And then I have Capian Kapanu Dios. And merci beaucoup to my people that speak French. Appreciate it very much. And I will see you guys next time.